and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you my take on the whole BlockFi S.E.C settlement situation. Now, if you're a fairly casual crypto user and you don't really get into the weeds of things, then you probably will find this video interesting. If you're hardcore into crypto, you're probably tracking every bit of it, and maybe you came here just to see what my idiotic take on this will be. And if you're brand new to crypto and you're wondering what all the hubbub is about, well, strap in. I'll do my best to explain it to you. But no matter what reason you clicked on the video or how you found me, welcome. If at any point you find this video great or good or useful in any way, I would appreciate a like and subscribe. But anyway, I will get right into it. So as you can see here on the screen, in the last week to 10 days, I think it was around Valentine's Day, if you were a BlockFi account holder, you probably received the email that looks something like this, where Zach and Flory shared a regulatory update. This email goes into, basically breaks down what's going to happen if you have a BlockFi interest account. Now, if you've already got one, then you know what a BlockFi interest account is. But if you don't, basically, you can, if you held, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, can't remember. I'm sure there's another one, probably Gemini USD or something. You held any of these on, on BlockFi, you would receive a healthy chunk of interest. It's like 8% ish. But they were targeted by, and you didn't have to do anything. So you just literally held it there. You didn't have to stake it. You didn't have to hold it for 6 months or anything. It could just sit there and you get paid out monthly. It was nice. But effectively, they were targeted by the S.E.C. For offering unregistered securities. So what this email is saying, and then when you click on this link, you go to the letter from the founders. It's basically saying anybody that has an existing BIA account is what they call them. It's basically just coin sitting on their, on their platform. It can still sit there and continue to receive interest. You can't add any more to it. Nobody else can get one. What is interesting is they go into this long deal about, it's easy to refer to this long Twitter thread from Zach Prince. He's the CEO. Goes into, hey, we're canceling all these things and nobody can add to them and all of this, and they're paying fines. The S.E.C, they're not agreeing that they did anything bad. But it gets down to this one point where he's saying once complete BIA accounts will convert to BlockFi yield, and new deposits and client signups in the U.S. will be enabled. In the interim, all clients with a BIA account will continue to earn interest as they always have. Now, when he's saying once complete, he's talking about S.E.C approval for these new BlockFi yield accounts. I haven't seen anywhere where anybody said the S.E.C agreed to approve these. Maybe they did, and we just haven't seen the information. But I scroll further down, and this guy right here actually gets it, Wizard Laboratory. And he asked the same question when I was digging through this thread yesterday, researching for this video. What makes you think the S.E.C will approve BlockFi yield when they decline Coinbase? Great question. And I replied to him and said, I'm looking for the same thing, because what's the guarantee that they're going to be approved? I guess we'll find out. Now back to my outline here. So what does all of this mean? Well, obviously you can't lend out your crypto and I put lend in air quotes because you're not, there was some mice type that I'm sure I agreed to when I deposited my Bitcoin or bought Bitcoin and let it sit there. Did I read it? Probably not. But they took this and loaned it out. So they were using it to make money. Same thing banks do, right? But you can expect this to be going away at both BlockFi and other institutions. And you can expect other institutions that do the same thing to fall in line. I would expect Gemini. Let me bring up another. First, let me get into the SEC bragging about their, Chairman Gensler is bragging about it. He's saying today's settlement makes clear that crypto markets must comply with time-tested security laws, such as the Securities Act of 1933 and the Investment Company Act of 1940. It further demonstrates the Commission's willingness to work with crypto platforms to determine how they can come into compliance with those laws. I'd like to thank and commend our remarkable SEC staff and state regulators for their effort and collaboration on this settlement. And then this next part is particularly noteworthy. Crypto lending platforms offering securities like BlockFi's BIA should take immediate notice of today's resolution and come into compliance with the federal security laws. Sounds a little bit ominous to me. But I brought up this, ironically, this article was actually written on like 6 days before the SEC thing came out. But it was eight best places to earn interest on crypto. So I would expect any of these that are available in the U.S. to just these options are going to be gone most likely. So probably I've heard of most of these: BlockFi, Nexo. I'll just bring up the graphic; it's easy to see. BlockFi, Binance.us. I'm not even sure if they offer it. They might. Crypto.com. Their debit card product might have some interest aspects that they might have to do away with. Gemini, most definitely. CoinRabbit, never heard of them. If you've used them, I guess give me a comment. Nexo, I've heard of them. I haven't used them. Hodl, I've heard of them, never used them. Celsius, yeah. I would expect all these to be affected and to probably come up with new ways or methods of earning interest, because let's face it, this is a business. And like I say here, accredited exchanges, these places that are KYC, they're trying to get in the good graces of government. They're not trying to upset people. They will fall in line. They'll fold like a card table. So the bigger question is, why did this happen? So, I would say your guess is as good as mine. I'm going to make the assumption that it's just the government's latest blow to crypto to try to, keep it under control. You probably know, or if you don't, I will tell you that the same thing is currently happening to XRP. It's not they're suing them for being an unregistered security, but they don't make money the same way. But they've already been tainted with that. So, and the dust still hasn't cleared on that one. And if you don't know, the SEC has dragged their collective feet on approving any physical Bitcoin ETFs in the United States. There's already, I believe, about 14 or 15 in the rest of the world. And it's just my take that, this is their way of propping up the dollar for as long as possible. Now, Hester Pierce has a good rebuttal in her statement on it. But I found this meme to be funny. You see investors over here trying to sleep good at night, trying to outpace 7.5% inflation, and you got Chairman Gensler over here protecting them from protecting the investors from earning 8% on stable coins. It's only funny because it's true, right? Anyway, so did anybody not agree with it? It's just funny you ask. Matter of fact, Commissioner Hester Pierce did dissent. If you're not familiar with her, she's sometimes referred to as the crypto mom of the S.E.C. She points out here, as an initial matter, it's difficult to understand how the civil penalty will protect investors. BlockFi will pay the SEC $50 million. It will pay another $50 million in connection with state settlements for the same conduct. While penalties this size are intended to deter bad conduct, there is no allegation that BlockFi failed to pay its customers the money due them. And that's true. Nobody has ever been shorted out a cent from BlockFi, as far as I know, or failed to return the crypto lent to it. BlockFi's misrepresentations over collateralization are serious, but the combined $100 million penalty nevertheless seems disproportionate. So basically what she's saying is they didn't cheat anybody out of money. they did over collateralize things and misrepresented that, but the fine is particularly egregious. She goes on to talk here about how filing the S1 is particularly onerous, and hopefully that the S.E.C. is going to negotiate in good faith with them. And I highlighted here, rather than forcing transparency around retail crypto products, crypto lending products, today's settlement may stop them from being offered to retail customers in the United States. I believe that to be true. BlockFi will not be allowed to take in any additional crypto from retail investors until the company has registered a new crypto lending product on Form S1. Getting an S1 to the point where staff will declare it effective is a months-long iterative process. I don't believe she's wrong there. And I don't think the S.E.C. has shown through its previous actions in dealing with crypto that it's going to treat it seriously or negotiate in good faith in any way. Anyway, I'll jump down here to this last part that I highlighted. The investor protection objective of today's settlement will be poorly served if retail investors are ultimately shut out from participation in these products. Back to that meme I just showed you, that's exactly what it's saying in a funny way, but it's funny only because it's true and it's actually sad. Inviting people to come in and talk to us only to drag them through a difficult, lengthy, unproductive, and labyrinthine, there's a $5 word for you, regulatory process casts the commission in a bad light and thus makes us a less effective regulator. And she finally says, a company that tries to do the right thing should be met across the table by a regulator that tries to get to a sensible result in a reasonable time frame. For the sake of the American public, our own reputation, and the companies that heed our call to come in and talk to us, we need to do better than we have so far at accommodating innovation through thoughtful use of the exemptive authority Congress gave us. Bravo, ma'am. All right. So finally, my last point here is, what options rank? I said staking, but I should have said earning interest here, but I'll say that for another video. I think I got confused. A friend out there asked me if I could make a video on staking options. I will most certainly do that. This is more about these hold and earn interest products, but there's certainly other products out there that you can get some yield out of. There's anything that's not earning interest by them taking your money and lending it out. So you got Kraken does not do that. They do on-chain staking for proof of stake. So that would be ETH 2.0, Kusama, things like that. You got Anchor protocol here. This is DeFi. This is DeFi. I expect they may go after DeFi products at some point too. They're going to try to find a way. I could just feel it in my bones, but there's still options out there. And crypto is a ever-changing landscape. It's very dynamic. I believe things will continue to evolve. These companies will find a way to stay in business. I have no doubt about that. So stay tuned for more of the madness. That's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you found it useful. If you did and you survived with my RAF until this point, please give me a like and subscribe. It really helps me out. If you got questions or anything you want to see me cover in future videos, you know what to do. Give me a comment. Otherwise, that's it for this one. Thank you, and I'll see you again soon.